8 years ago, I suffered a back injury while lifting weights and have lived with debilitating pain ever since. Despite much effort, I have never received a definitive diagnosis as to exactly what happened that day, but that hardly matters now. In the years that followed, I suffered several other injuries to my back, neck, and other areas, all of which eventually culminating into a full body condition that had me in so much pain in so many different places that I could not even care for myself. One of the many methods I have tried over the years to help me cope with the pain is meditation. I started the practice of meditation sometime in late 2011, and it very quickly became a daily practice for me. In the beginning, I would always perform my meditation while lying down, as this was the least painful position for me to be in, but sometime in the winter or spring of 2014, I happened to be standing upright and decided to try closing my eyes and settling into a meditative state, while at the same time trying to relax the tightened muscles of my back. This led to something very unusual happening. I felt a sudden twitching of the muscles beneath my right shoulder blade, which was a major problem area for me, and then suddenly my right shoulder began to move on its own. It was only a momentary occurrence. My shoulder did a little shrug-like motion, and that was it. But the fact that it was completely involuntary and that it was in one of my most problematic areas absolutely stunned me. The next day, I managed to bring about the same type of response while again standing and putting myself into a meditative state while trying to relax my tight muscles, except that this time the involuntary motions went on for longer and targeted more of my problem areas. I was astounded. What amazed me most about what my body was doing, beyond the fact that it was involuntary, was the fact that the movements perfectly pinpointed my pain generators by stretching or exercising the surrounding tissues in a way that I could not have consciously come up with. Before long, I developed this practice into a daily routine that I would perform each morning for around 45 minutes to an hour. When ready to begin, I would simply stand still, turn off my conscious mind, and let my body go about fixing itself. This is still what I do every time I begin one of my special exercise sessions, but so much else has changed in the nearly 2 years that I have been working with this skill. Despite a number of setbacks, one of which almost terminating this practice for good, I have carried forward and am currently doing 3 separate sessions daily, morning, afternoon, and evening, and have made considerable progress in that time. What happens within each of these sessions is usually quite different and may depend on factors ranging from time of day, how I feel, my energy level, things like that. But what always remains the same is the fact that what I do does not come from my conscious mind. My progress in having done these exercises gives me much hope and encouragement, but it's what's driving this whole thing that keeps me in constant amazement and is what has compelled me to share these videos with you. I've reached a point where I'm ready to be more open about my unique healing method. Up until now, those few people still close to me only knew that I was doing some type of stretching and exercise to help with my back, because I feel that the meditation aspect of what I'm doing sits beyond the boundaries of what most people are comfortable talking about. Though I have reservations about sharing all of this with strangers, those reservations are overcome by my desire to help others. I believe that I have happened upon a human ability with much potential. I don't mean to suggest that I'm a pioneer in this area. Anyone who stretches or does yoga or Pilates, etc., on a regular basis will be familiar with this type of phenomenon. You're performing your regular routine when you're suddenly aware of an urge to do something outside of the parameters of what you normally do. Really, what I do each day is the same as what a person naturally does when they get up out of a chair after having been seated for a long time. They stretch. That urge to stretch after getting up doesn't come from the conscious mind. It's a signal from the deeper, unconscious part of our brain, that part of our brain responsible for overseeing our general health. My belief is that through meditation, I've simply learned to become more sensitive to these subtle prompts, as well as to maintain the state of concentration necessary to consciously carry out a physical response to them. Through my long bout with chronic pain and the unique method by which I am fighting it, I've come to the realization that so much of what I deal with is generated by an over-tense nervous system. I'm not able to put a finger on it quite yet, but my sense is that there exists huge areas of overlap between a host of poorly understood chronic conditions, from fibromyalgia, which is what I've been diagnosed with, to migraine headaches, Crohn's disease, and the like. And I believe that development of an ability to relax the nervous system through meditation may be key to alleviating a lot of the misery that these conditions create. But of course, I am just one person on my own personal journey toward recovery, and I am hopeful that I may stumble upon some valuable information that could help others along the way. It's a very small contribution, but I do hope that these videos at least provoke some thought and hopefully prompt others onto their own path of discovery of the wonders that can emerge from the practice of meditation. Thank you very much for listening. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to share any thoughts you may have.